All right, welcome.
Is this a fucking action figure?
Skylar and I went down a rabbit hole talking about our favorite Zelda, like the character Zelda designs in between. Welcome back to Crit Couch. I'm Michael. He's Skylar.
Sure.
Link to the Past. We were getting close to the end of the game, which is cool.
Yeah, I'll stop looking at my phone.
But yeah, we were kind of we're talking about the Midna and like the princess and the designs of everything, and we just kind of started talking about like our favorite Zelda designs at that point.
Yeah, because what we brought up is like the design in Twilight Princess. Like Zelda looks very like regal and cool, and she has like these cool like pauldrons of like armor and stuff.
And they also they like mixed her being a warrior with being a princess, and then we kind of were like funneling that into how
Hyrule
Warriors kind of like extrapolated that a little bit more into more of a warrior design. And it's like, I love the color palette and the sword from Twilight Princess's Zelda. I really love the armament and everything of Hyrule Warriors Zelda.
The Hyrule Warriors Link was really cool.
He was,
like,
yeah, 100%.
Honestly, in the first Hyrule Warriors, I like the second one too. The second one was very fun. A little weird as far as timeline and story goes. But
well, when you cram Zelda into Dynasty Warriors, you're talking about the that's right, because it's supposed to be a prequel to
it's
Breath
like
of
a
the
prequel
Wild.
to Breath of the Wild. Yeah, so it's a little weird. But it's still fun.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed those games.
Real quick.
Yeah, go for it.
Because a new thing has happened. This was
Cthulhu
Link
moved in?
Well, no, this was Link's house. We walked
Right.
there was a little bomb shop, right?
Sure.
Well, when you beat Dungeons 5 and 6, he gets some new stock.
A big bomb? Is it?
I also have a new super bomb in stock for only 100 rupees. Some girl talking about her dad and the bomb train, she got real fucking scared.
This is
and
why
she was like, okay, my dad's got this thing. No, wait, hang on. She's like, my dad's got this thing, and look, there's this really scary kid walking around the world. I need to apologize. I just need everything to be cool. So here's a bomb. If this weird fucking kid shows up, she called me what? If this weird fucking kid shows up, this is what she said, man. If this weird fucking kid shows up, just sell him this big goddamn bomb, and that's it. I'm dusting my hands of this forever. You are protected by the Impina family. It's fine.
Stab. Walk off my sword.
So I'm not sure if you remember this, but now we have to be.
Let's go with chances are slim.
So back at the pyramid, when we first got to the Dark World, there is a thing we tried to blow open that we could not.
Okay.
And this is important because you absolutely have to do this. This is not like this is not an optional part of the game. You do have to go in there and figure this out.
Okay.
Which I don't actually know. There might be a hint in the world somewhere. You know, there's a lot of things in this game where it's like I don't remember if there are hints from any of the NPCs, but you can't dash with this bomb or you leave it behind.
What in the fucking Audrey 2 is that thing?
That's the exact same fucking. I think you
Did
made
I
that
say
exact
that
same
same
remark. Yeah.
Whatever.
So here,
I'm nothing if not consistent.
and we get a little timer up there
Oh,
under our
God.
hearts.
3, 2. And that's the only way to blow that up?
Yeah.
Wow, okay.
And so here, does one of these look familiar?
Mm-hmm. What will you throw in?
So there's only two. Well, there might be. I don't know if a bottle will get you anything from her, but there's two things we want to throw in here. One is not necessary, but you should do it. The other is necessary. Fuck you, Master Sword. I'm tired of this shit.
Why did the Oh, I love them.
Hello there. Hello there. Did you drop this? I like an honest person. I will give you something better in return. So now we get the gold Master Sword.
Nice.
So this is the strongest sword.
Okay.
But we need to do one more thing, and this is the thing that's necessary to.
You do have to do.
Yeah,
this.
and we have to throw our bow in.
Does it turn it into the bow of light?
It's silver arrows.
Yeah, that tracks.
Hello there.
At some point, like after the third or fourth one, she's like, "Hi, are you littering? Is that what's going on?"
So You definitely need them. I know I don't quite have the figure of a fairy. Ganon's cruel power is to blame. You must defeat Ganon.
Sweetie, don't be shamed about it.
Girl, you are thick and you should live it.
Yeah. I like he's a murderer, but body positivity and yeah.
Look, man, you can fuck anything.
If you're brave enough. What were we chatting about with the big bombs while you're carrying that forward? Fuck.
So we were talking about the Zelda designs.
Sure, yeah. Well, I guess back to Hyrule Warriors. Like,
yeah,
those games are really fun, and they really introduced some like just the first one especially because it kind of took its own it's its own Zelda universe.
Yeah,
kind of. It definitely borrows designs, but it changes them too. Because like both the Link and Zelda, as mentioned, like they're a little derivative of the Twilight Princess ones, but they change them up a little bit more. Because like that Link has more armor and Zelda is, a playable character in that. Isn't there also a Linkle?
Yeah, there was a female version of Link that got introduced as, I think, just part of those. I don't know that she shows up elsewhere.
Never, right? Like
the only thing I don't.
Does she have like a big ass crossbow?
Yeah, the only thing I don't remember is if she has like some presence in some of the DS games or something. I don't think she does. I think that was a Hyrule Warriors bit, but I don't remember very well.
Yeah, no, it's. But I remember really enjoying those games and having fun with them. Again, the first one especially. The second one is more Breath of the Wild based. So it was fun. You get to run around as like Urbosa or something if you really want to.
Yeah.
So I had the most fun playing Impa, honestly.
Impa was always a beast in those.
Yeah.
Although I do love Urbosa.
Yeah. So how can you not? All the
Gerudo
women,
can just get it.
Yeah, they're just they're all queens.
So going back a bit again, because we never really finished this conversation, but I did want to kind of like tie a knot off on it.
I'm going to stop him. No.
The relationship stuff with Zelda. So like in the first game, oh look, our arrows up top turn silver.
Yep.
With the relationship stuff, I need to go back to my Hyrule Historia books and see if they make any mention of this.
How do you feel about those books?
I love them as resources. The way that they had to pigeonhole the timelines to make it all work is kind of goofy, but
I just see people very conflicted about them. So
well, conflicted about the books or about the information contained in the books?
Mostly the latter.
Yeah, I think that's really more the issue is that like, because there's basically 3 timelines that trace back, like how you get to the different Zeldas and whatever, and like
which was just not
because there's basically like Link succeeded in Twilight Princess or Ocarina of Time. Link didn't succeed in Ocarina of Time.
Ocarina of Time is a good point.
Wait a minute.
Was something supposed to happen?
Maybe I did it in the wrong. Oh, you know what? I'll bet I think there's an order I'm supposed to do that in now that I think about it.
Well, time for trial and error, kids. Here we go.
I think it makes a sound if I get it right the first time. I think it's just like a clockwise or counterclockwise thing, but...
Jesus. He turned to stone.
Yep, there it is.
Yeah. Now we're back in action.
I'm just a turtle. I'm just sitting here.
This wouldn't happen to be Turtle Rock.
I'm Turtle Rock, man. How'd you know? You know, it's kind of fun just being a Turtle Rock, just sitting here. I keep pressing that button. It's really fun being a turtle. Nobody really messes with. Oh God, what's happening?
He's kind of like an orc turtle. He's got like tusks. Oh. Well, he's dead now. I hate that there's a little bit of like
turtles shouldn't be rocks.
I hate that there's a little bit of red shading down there. Like it makes it just a little like a
little sinister.
Yeah. Something bad happened.
But so in the first game, oh God, do I really want to do this?
What is this?
There's a piece of a heart over there, and I don't think I want to fuck with it right now.
Who cares? Let's keep going.
Like, I think I said early on, I don't know that I'm going to get all of the pieces of heart. Basically, you have to get to this island that's kind of to the upper left, and then you go into the light world, and there's a piece of heart sitting there.
Yeah, we got a lot of hearts. We're in pretty good shape.
Yeah, But so
There's this whole...
I'd have to check the Historias to see. This is where you actually need this cane because it makes other things appear.
Oh, a platform.
Yeah. So I don't know that the Historias ever really like indicate whether Zelda and Link have a thing.
Mm-hmm.
It is true, like as we have said, that there's kind of an implied thing or a little more overt in some of the games.
Yeah. Damn, man, what's up with you? What? What's happening? You have to look away? Oh, you have to be invisible? No? Do you have to kill the eye?
I'm forget.
We live here now.
I don't remember if there's actually a gimmick to get out of this room, but I don't care because it was just the compass. Fuck.
All right. Nothing else happens in that room?
I'm sure there's a gimmick to get out of there that's not the mirror. I just don't remember it. But it's also like the second room I entered.
Would it be you have to hold your sword out downward so that you're still staring away from it and the thing stays open?
I
kind of want you to try. Yeah.
You might be right.
I want to see if I solved the riddle. So turn around and see if he starts firing off. That is the trick?
Well, I think so. Let's see. Yep, that is the trick. You are correct. Nice work.
Well, I'm not the one playing, so I got to like look at it from the outside for a minute.
So I will like freely admit because I have played through this game many times, but because of who I am as a person, I start getting bored with things sometimes. And I will often...
Anybody else with ADHD can relate?
I will often like start and get to like 80% of the way through something.
And you're like, I just want to be done.
Stop. Or something else.
You don't even finish?
Yeah, like literally like I love Breath of Fire 3, like the PlayStation RPG, but it took me like 2 years to beat, not because it took me 2 years to get through, but because like I had stopped like right before the final dungeon. I had so many games growing up where I stopped before the final dungeon and had to come back later and actually go through it. It wasn't even that the final dungeon was hard. It was just that like
you're just attention.
The loop of like I am building up toward the story has now gone, and something more easily catches my attention.
I got you.
So unless it was something like Xenogears, where I was just like
so enthralled,
deeply enwrapped with like what it was doing with the narrative, I didn't always finish. I did actually finish most of the games that I owned. It was just when I finished them versus when I started them that was the problem.
I super feel that. I have kind of a worse loop for a lot of games with that though, because like I will get so far in a game, like let's say 80% or so, right?
Yeah.
And then something else will draw my attention, or I think the worst thing for me is it won't keep my attention at that point.
Yeah.
Like I'll just drift off of it. I do this with shows too at times. I hope it doesn't drive Tiana too crazy. But this seems like a little bit of an ass, huh?
Yeah, it kind of is if you time it badly, like I sort of did.
You fixed it.
Yeah.
Well, don't become the rolling pin.
You know what's fun about these is they actually show up in the Game Boy game.
Do they?
But you get a feather in the Game Boy game that lets you jump over them.
So what I was gonna say though is like I do that same thing. The problem is then when I want to come back to the game, I have this weird like compulsion to be like, well, I don't 100% remember what I was doing, so I'm just gonna restart the game, and then I just do the cycle all over again where I get to 80% and everything, and I'm just like, well, shit. For me, I'll do that, but it depends on how badly I don't remember what I was doing. Like that's kind of like the clincher is like if I'm right at the final dungeon, it's usually fine, which is how I ended up in a lot of the games that I played, which was like I would get right to the final dungeon and it would be fine because I could just jump back in. I didn't really need to remember anything functionally in the game.
It was when I was like 70% through and just got kind of bored or stuck or frustrated, and then another thing got my attention built up.
Yeah.
That's when I would have a real problem and I'd have to start over.
Well, we've talked about this too sometimes, because like I very much play games for like the experience. Like I love like the story and stuff, but like I love just the feeling of like being in certain worlds and things. I'm not a completionist. I'm not an achievement hunter. Not a collector, really. I just like to be in a place for a while and have that experience. And there comes a point where you're like, cool, I've gotten what I want out of this. Time to move on, even if it's not the end of it.
It's the Chain Chomps from Mario. What's up?
Oh, I was just looking at my audio for fun. So, I'm interested to see how these turn out with the new microphone for sure.
Oh yeah.
No, we'll see. We'll see. Hopefully, if we get a little improvement on our audio balancing. But I think with that too, since we're running up against time, we'll we keep doing like 25-minute episodes and stuff. We'll keep this one around the 15 and see you on the next episode as we continue through the dungeon.
Maybe we'll actually finish talking about that goddamn relationship discussion.
I mean, we're just kind of musing through it, so yeah.
Although I will say before we end the episode, because
Sure.
you asked about like what was the gimmick in the swamp dungeon, but there really wasn't one much. There is a gimmick in this dungeon, and it's one of those kind of like classic these pipes.
Tubes? Okay.
Yeah, these pipes. If you walk into one, it shoots you through, so there's no real control. So you have to kind of memorize or read where the lines are taking you.
I am so bad at puzzles like this.
Yeah, here's where it's fun when you can't see the other end.
Yeah, oh God, yeah. Now it's just taking control when you step into them?
Yep, there is no way you can negotiate those any differently.
So you can't like get halfway through and be like, oh, whoops, I gotta turn around. Although I guess if you get to the other end,
well,
you can
they're not one way. That's the thing.
I see. Okay.
So like if they were one way, that would be kind of a different story. But in this case, like, and then there's these guys.
What was that game that came out? The very like Geiger game. What the fuck was the name of it?
Scorn or whatever.
Scorn, yeah. I was playing through that and really loving the atmosphere and stuff. There was a puzzle like this very early on.
Yeah, and that shut it off.
Well, it was like when it came out, I just wasn't in the mood for that game.
Yeah.
And then I hit one of these puzzles, and I was just like,
it.
I'll come back to this one day. Yeah. But more relationship talks about Link and Zelda. It's just the topic of these few episodes, I guess.
I can't wait to get in a relationship.
So,
There's so many things that I hear about them.
Yeah.
I've only done weird stuff behind my uncle's house.
God. I was trying to figure out how you cap that off, and yeah, I guess that's it. Next time I cricket.
You just always cap it off with Link being a dirty bastard.
Yeah.